we know the Republicans are not kind to black people. We know that they do not necessarily have an agenda for us either. However, I will say, at least with Trump and all his problems, his administration was like, all right, Ice Cube, sure, come, let us see what you got. And then they even said that they, left Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson with that administration. So at least they had the conversation. But Biden and Kamala, because since they're, together, we'll talk to you, after the election if we win. And they ain't had a conversation with him yet. But yet you got black people who want to shame you into continuing to vote for nothing. Well, with the Republicans. But it's like the Republicans don't benefit from the black vote. Although I will say that in 2020, President Trump, former President Trump, I should say, he got 8% of the black vote. They said if the election was held today, he'd get anywhere from 22 to 26% of the black vote. And we're about a year off from the election. So that could creep up even more, especially when you're seeing pictures like that of Kamala Harris standing there talking about minorities and ain't one black person in the photo. What's going on here? I think Donovan's frozen. He might have to switch to his phone if he's still frozen. Oh, there you go. No, you're not frozen. And then your average logical thing, it says, nice of you to join us, Donovan. In October, Opal, how you doing? It says the Democrats doing it to themselves. Absolutely. See what it is, though? They're taking black people for granted. And when we don't show up, because I keep hearing a lot of people say, well, there's three options. There's the Republicans, Democrats, and the couch. And a lot of people are going to choose the couch on election day. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do it because the results are not going to change for me as a black person in America. So I think I'm going to pass, And Lillian says, for the win is reparations. Absolutely. Buckhorse, how are you doing this fine evening? And hi, Cube, how are you? He says, white owned 82%, black owned 2.4%. In Latino owned 6.5%, Asian 10.6%. Right. So out of all of that, black people have the least businesses, but yet there was not one black person in there. They talking about they ramping it up, I guess the funding or help to 50%, but you didn't have not one black person up in there. What are they really telling you? You know what I mean? Unless they secretly got a reparations, campaign that you're working on or something, but I doubt it. But I think it's all by design. You also say business in the United States is mostly white owned. That is true. That is true. So, and per their words, minorities, right? And that used to include black people. Where are the black people? Where are the black people? And my thing is Roland going to say anything about this? Or any of the other, staunch black Democrats? Are they going to call Kamala and Joe out on it? They're not going to do that. They're going to continue beating their chest, talking about how, calling us everything but a child of God because we don't want to vote for more of nothing and all that other stuff. But yeah, we know that it's mostly white owned, but black people, we're owed so much. And yet they continue to thumb their noses at us. So it's crazy, but it's not. Miss White, how are you doing? He says, I'm going to say the migrants for the sake of YouTube, got it made with the Democrats. Oh yeah, they that's why they're coming over here. They're like, Joe Biden and them, they over there giving away big checks, and housing and all that. Freddie B, how you doing? Harold, what's going on with you? Says, tuned in from Cincinnati. Let's see, is that Donovan? And Facts Not Feelings says, excellent analysis, Donovan. The country is deliberately being dumbed down. Absolutely. You know what's so funny too? As I was in the car today and I was listening to urban radio, the commercials on there were just so, there you go. Commercials on there were just kind of just so ghetto, I guess, just loud, and the music was blaring, and it just, the way they talk to black people. And I'm like, listen how they talk to black people, like they don't think that we are intelligent enough to, have a regular commercial with, hey, this is what you got to do. And it's like, my God. And Jen, you say exactly, Sleepy Joe will not be on the ballot in November. Maybe he's, telling us ahead of time, right? October Opal, he says the big bend over and don't cough. Oh, wow. And Donovan, you're frozen, but can you hear me? No. Yeah, I think it's the internet there. And Michael said it's time to vote for third parties in 2024. Yeah, I mean, I think at the very least as a protest vote, or maybe I don't know. Some people just like I'm just probably gonna stay home, let it do what it do, right? And Trinity say African Americans are a great threat toward Israel by pulling out of the Democratic Party, leaving them politically, socially powerless, domestically, internationally. Okay. And Buckhorse, you say is serious. And Jen, you say Chicago needs to keep pushing for that meeting. Yeah, and they are unapologetic about it. And what I really love is I think some of them are baby boomers, but they're definitely, old enough to be in a party of we gonna vote blue no matter who. And some of them maybe they were, but now they're like not no more. Come on, Trump, and Trump should go meet with them. If I was Trump, I'd take my toupee and orange self right over there to Chicago and be right at Harold's Chicken with him. What's on y'all mind? Because the Republicans are seeing what's going on. In fact, it's the Republicans that's sending the migrants to the Democratic states. Like, nah, y'all are pushing for these open border policies, so we're gonna send them to y'all and allow y'all to deal with it. Because why should we have to foot the bill for what you guys want? Because a lot of the border states are Republican states, and so it's like they're coming in here. And what they're supposed to stay, and we're supposed to help them. Oh yeah, we'll help them right along to you, and then y'all can run y'all budget into the red trying to deal with it. Like that of Mayor Eric Adams. He says they are operating so much in the red that they got to make budget cuts. So, Buckhorse, she says, we the greatest people on the planet. You better believe it. G. Whimsical, how you doing? You say, no lies told. I'm holding my vote. They're asking us to choose the lesser of two evils. How about choose no evil? Yeah, because Malcolm X said, choosing evil is still, choosing evil. So, but if they're gonna make people do that, then hell, do the calculation and say, well, who is the lesser of two evils in this equation? And if you guys are insisting that I do it that way, and I've always said, if you're saying vote between the lesser two evils between Joe Biden and Trump, then it's got to be Trump. You got to vote for Trump. You just have to. So, and Donovan in the comments, he says, now that the baby boomer Black people are less in numbers, the ball is now moving. Yeah, and that's just kind of, the circle of life, right? They're not going to be here forever. Absolutely, Buckhorse. It is not our war, which is why we don't spend a lot of time talking about it, even though some people really want us to, but no. As y'all can see, we got our own things going on. I don't know if y'all saw also in Alabama where a Black man was changing a tire, and a female police officer stopped, I guess, because he was already stopped, and put him in, detained him, put him in handcuffs. And he said, I have a gun. As far as I know, it's legal to carry a gun in Alabama. She said, oh, you got a gun? And he said, oh, he told her I got a gun. And so she takes the gun and, she's laughing, and she tases him in his back as he's handcuffed and, bent over the car. And, he starts crying, which, really pissed me off, that she did that to the point of drawing tears. You know what I mean? And so when we think about what's going on in everybody else's country, is like, how can we remove our focus from what's going on? Black people are enduring, the worst treatment on the planet of anybody. So what do we look like going to, put boots on the ground for somebody else? It would be ludicrous. All right, let's see here. And Tammy, you saying, I honestly feel like presidents are selected, not elected. Oh, absolutely. They're just kind of the spokespeople, right? Facts Not Feelings says Black people are beyond frustrated. Black people already drew the line. Yeah. And it says that's it. A lot of Black people, I think it's enough Black people to where the Democrats are going to have to say, okay, we really want to keep them on board. We're going to have to make a mighty move. And no, we don't want no watered down George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. That only applies to the federal level, because if it was the local and state level, then we wouldn't hear stories about what I just told you of that female police officer, white lady, tasing that Black man who was already handcuffed and complying in his back to the point of him. I mean, he's bawling. And I don't even necessarily know if he was bawling from the pain. I mean, she had the taser just, in his back, letting it off. I think he was bawling because he was afraid, probably thinking she's gonna kill me, you know. And all I'm doing is changing the tire. Lied on the man, talking about he was, they charged you for a fentanyl. And then they said, oh, well, we tested it. It wasn't fentanyl after all. But it's like his girlfriend was filming. But it's like she wasn't filming, would this lady have gotten away with that? Of course she would have. And the other thing is, how many times has she done that to other people? A lot. There's no doubt in my mind. And Sagittarius Goddess, she says, what the hell's going on with her? And in fact, Feeling says, I love passport bros out of, leave. I'm sorry, passport bros out of it. I don't even know. I don't know what that was about. So, yes, Buck Horse, Chocolate City. T-Bone, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, black people disappoint me when driving around Houston, especially the black men. It kills me when I see them hanging out in the shade at a car wash at 1 p.m. instead of working. Now, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. Because as I said, I was out there today in the 3rd Ward. And I saw so many black men and young black men walking around. And I said, okay, well, maybe they have like a night job or something. I don't know. Maybe they're just up and walking around. But it was so many. I'm hanging out and, things like that. And I'm like, well, what else could they be doing? You know what I mean? Like, what about get together if you're going to hang out and talk about, okay, let's figure out how to get us a truck, get us a truck, maybe a lawn mowing service or mobile car wash or something like hauling off garbage. Because Lord knows there's a lot of it there in the 3rd Ward. What if they were having that conversation? How different would things look? But yeah, I noticed that a lot too. And I've actually seen some women hanging out on the corner as well. I'm like, okay, You also say, I need my fellow black men to be better driving around Houston. It hurts seeing Asians and Middle Easterns running everything in the community. You ain't lying, because that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Urban Bake, how you doing? Says the baby boomers are not all business as usual. We have a large amount have moved from the Democrats here and are not. So baby boomers are not all business as usual. Yeah, a lot of them are waking up. Thank God, right? Leotis, how you doing? You say the Democrats are in for a very rude awakening in 2024. The Republicans as well. This two-party system is coming to an end. I just believe and feel that more of our brothers and sisters are woke, and are awakening. We are seeing that definitely. We're starting to see real on-code behavior, and that's what they have been trying to keep us from for a very long time. With a lot of discourse, especially with the inception of social media. It's easier to do now, right? Somebody put a post out, black man ain't this, black women ain't that. And then everybody on the internet goes crazy and, believe these narratives, and they talk about it, have all these think tanks and stuff. And then, the powers that be are like, the plan is working just as we hoped. You know what I mean? But we are definitely getting on code. Oh, yes. Donovan says, please watch the Houston mayoral race. I think it's the 9th, which is Saturday. That is going to Saturday. That I think is the 9th that is going to be happening. So going to be very interesting. Okay. And Urban Baker says, not voting for the Democrats. And Damien, how you doing? Says, leave that plantation, brothers and sisters. Yep, get on off of it. You're free. Run, don't look back, right? Boston Nova Ross, how you doing? One love to you as well. And Lillian says, bite the bullet, no ballot. Yes, indeed, the bullet or the ballot. Malcolm X. Divine and Chosen, Mika, how you doing? He says, I'll be on the couch. Yeah, some people are saying that is that's when I'm going to exercise. I'm going to be couch surfing on election night, And Precious Fraser says, 2.4%. That's what black businesses are in the United States. Which, we spend a lot of money, right? Says that we see about 1.3 to some people who say nearly $2 trillion a year in the black community, but we only see 97% of that. We only see 3% of that, giving 97% of that away. So imagine if we were to keep some of that at home. How many businesses could we actually start? Quite a few. Let's see here. In our October opening says, how much more of nothing can we take? Right. Lillian says minorities never ever trickle down to Black folks, right? Which is why Dr. Claude Anderson told us to stop saying that we are minorities, because we include ourselves in that, and then we don't get included in anything, right? So absolutely. And then Tammy Love, and who was that? The Obama administration, and some other administrations. Well, talking about no, he was saying the trickle down theory does not compute. You know what I mean? But it's like, duh. And Tammy says Roland is brown nosing hard of Democrats behind. I'll let you say it. Urban Bake says, remember the silent generation is still around and voting for Democrats. Yeah, Maxine Waters is one of them. You know, part of the side. I believe she's part of silent generation. James Clyburn, he's part of silent generation. That's before the baby boomers, and they're still in power, talking about I'm seeking re-election, you know. And there, Jim Clyburn, he's helping to put Joe Biden back in office. You know, it's crazy. They still, you know, making decisions as if they were in the 1920s. And old school, how you doing? It says FBA South Carolina needs to get Marcel Dixon in office. He is running again. Yeah, you know, I like Marcel Dixon. I wish he would have me on his campaign, at least be his PR. I would love to advise him, because there's a lot of things I would say to him to kind of help him fine tune some things. So if y'all know him, y'all tell him, you know, Sister Demetria K would love to be on his campaign to kind of polish him up a little bit. But yeah, definitely. As y'all see, Walter is on here, and looks like he's sorting his mail. Who we got behind you? You're on mute.
Oh, is that better?
That's better. We can hear
sorry. No, I'm having a senior moment.
It happens to the best of us. Well, to you, not me as much.
No worries. So what's happening?
Nothing. I'm going through these comments. I was like, letting them know, obviously you're here. And that's that brother Terrell.
Oh, he has some in the back.
AG.
How you doing?
Two Republican black men in one state. Watch out for the atom bomb.
Oh, Lord. All right, so let me get down to the rest of these comments. So we're just basically talking about Kamala Harris tweeting a picture, and I'll put it back up for those of y'all who came on a little bit later in the show. But there's a tweet, and you don't see, when she says minorities, you don't see any Black people included in that at all. It's very telling. Jay, how you doing? He says, hello, everyone. Not only are they giving away millions and billions, they're putting a rush on work permits. Yep, Chicago, I know they're spending about $65 million to help migrants get work permits. It's quite a bit of money.
Are these people in the picture minorities?
Yeah, but how many Black people do you see? Now, we ain't counting Kamala, because it depends on the day of the week. She may or may not be that.
Oh, I mean, it is. I mean, they are minorities. I get the point, though.
Right.
I'm surprised they would make a mistake like that. They don't have no brown in the picture.
But is it a mistake, though? That's
not a mistake, but at least, I mean, they could at least cover it up better.
Nah, I think it's by design to I think that's sending a message to Black people that your services, well, we want your services, right? We want y'all to show up to vote, but we don't plan on ever doing anything significant for y'all at all. That's it. You know, anything that we would have done or did, the symbolism, that's all you're gonna get. So let's see here. Buffer says, let my people go with shoes, you know, and we need to stop giving them a choice. We just need to just break loose, right? Lillian says Chicago passed a vote against open border city. Well, you know, Chicago has been a sanctuary city since I think 1983. So I think a lot of people just don't realize that their cities, especially if they're in the Democratic areas, have been sanctuary cities, which means that they are welcoming to migrants, right? They've been that for a very long time, but we're starting to learn a little bit more about them because of what's going on. All right, so let's see here. Aaron, how are you doing? He says Dr. Cornel West is running for president in 2024. Yes, he is. I'm wondering what his angle really is, because Dr. Cornel West is not going to win. Some people say he may, you know, siphon off votes, I don't know, from Biden or whatever the case is. Now, is Dr. Cornel West really serious about running and winning? I don't know. You know, he may be, but is he going to win? I don't know. Of course, you got Robert Kennedy Jr. He's in there, but I think he's now an independent. He's moved away from the Democratic Party. but we know independents, rarely get on the ballot, as far as the major ballot, if you will. And Precious says, no, make it crying bill. He says, give me my dancing cotton money and pay the freaking reparations. Yes, indeed. Ishmael, how you doing? He says, Chi-Town is a Democratic town. Look at it, not fooling me today. Why are them black towns messed up? Why hasn't anyone done anything? Happy we are awake now because we are apathetic. We haven't been saying anything. It's vote for the name. We know Sheila Jackson Lee right now. If you guys haven't heard, Sheila Jackson Lee is in a runoff election against that of John Whitmire. He's a Democrat, although I think he's more of a conservative per some of his policies. But I think they said on the 9th, which is a Saturday, I guess. I don't know. That's when the election. I can't vote for her because I'm in a different, or him rather. I'm in a different municipality. But yeah, they're in a runoff election, and it's looks like it's an uphill battle. But a lot of black people will continue to vote for her. Now I know as a congressperson, she doesn't necessarily have direct decision making as far as like the streets and stuff like that. That's the city council, but she is going to be the mayor. She wants to be. Now the mayor is the president of the town, right? And I drive through the 5th and 3rd wards, and I'm like, my God. I mean, it just tears your car up because you don't see all of the potholes and stuff. I mean, sometimes you just like, damn, is my car gonna make it? And those are in majority black neighborhoods. I mean, say if you see some of these, and you guys that live in Houston, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like these areas are just left behind. It doesn't even look like they put any money into those neighborhoods since they were built in probably 1910 or whatever, So it's crazy. G. Whimsical says, I've been hearing those Sambo commercials all day too. So you're talking about on the radio station. Yep. I'm going to skip down because I'm behind. Divine and Chosen Mika says, I couldn't even watch that video. And Enlighten, how you doing? He says, when will we see Kamala as another Rachel Dolezal pretending to be black? At least Rachel did try to do for the black community, unlike Kamala. Yes, indeed. And I actually did a video, Donovan and I broke down Rachel Dolezal. Yes, for lack of a better word, she's a culture vulture. But one thing that she did do is when she was president, I think it was a Seattle chapter of the NAACP, she did actually do work, right? And we know what happened with that, but it's crazy. But yeah, we'll keep electing people who look like us who do nothing. They don't even come close to the work that Rachel Dolezal did. It's crazy. Walter, you can jump in at any time. And let me get a couple more comments real quick.
I'm just reading these comments.
Okay, let me keep going. And then when everyone jump in, and Jay, you say, we don't want any more graffiti on the roads or clean needles or crack pipes. Yes, indeed. The C of Mario says more promises from Democrats to keep you on the plantation. You think you will wake up. The average logical. So you're speaking to somebody else. And Al, how you doing? Says, tell black men to stop hanging in front of corner stores, blocking the damn entrance. Yeah, I saw a lot of that today. A lot of it. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they off work early? I don't know, because I was out there pretty early, like 11, 12, and I saw a lot of that. Facts Not Feeling says the U.S. has failed black people. Other countries who have ethnic divisions like America does have the same problems where one group in power systematically keep the other group poor. Same in the U.S. Absolutely. Let me skip down. Hey, Common Man, how you doing? Yes, you made it. Hello there. How are you this fine evening? Facts Not Feeling says blacks in the U.S. as a collective need to understand what apartheid really is and understand we are living in it. Then we can make policy to separate from it and develop ourselves. We can do it. Well, the Nation of Islam has been asking for that, since its inception. Hey, we want some land. We want some land so that our people can go and be us, right? So we do need to separate, as they always say, separation or death, because we have via the false idea of civil rights, chosen to be amongst the oppressor, if you will. And look what's happened. I mean, we've always, been affected by them. But after the civil rights movement, we were able to go roam about the country. And we haven't been the same since. And so that is very true. Separation to death. I know that's unpopular for a lot of people, but it's just, you can't deny it at this point. The Common Man says the Black Democrat mindset is twisted. When will they learn? Damn. Yep. Yeah, average logical thinker. Thank you so much for your donation. Love and appreciate you for that. Says, I really wish we would boycott one big company every year like Nike and use it to start a black business. It might also force the CEO to contribute to our community or influence government to back our issues. I totally agree with you. Totally. Uh, I don't know, Walter. Were you saying something, Walter?
No, I was just looking at this donation. We were how nice it is to see dollars pop up. I love dollar signs. Matter of fact, those are my favorite signs.
We know. Jenny says Sheila and all those lifetime Democrats need their walking papers. Yeah, it's like y'all don't want to go play bingo or nothing like that. You know, go hang out with your grandchildren. By now, I'm sure Sheila has great grandchildren, and maybe almost great. I don't know. Warren, he says Kamala isn't for reparations. She's trying to create a LIFT Act, another name for reparations, I guess. Yeah, y'all remember when she sat up there and told that news reporter, "No, I'm not gonna do something just for black people." Now that's what she said, almost word for word. I'm like, reparations? Are you crazy? Joe Biden too. He says, "I'll be damned if I'm held responsible for something that my ancestor did." So they've been very clear. No, black people, you're not getting any reparations. You're not. But y'all can show up to vote for us, though. We cool with that. Pop, how are you doing? I hope you are feeling much better today. And Common Man says African Americans must stop trying to buy themselves into white America. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, is that even a thing? And C.F. Martin says MAGA welcomes all black and white, Asian, Hispanic, all ethnicities and religions. Welcome. Yeah, there's a lot of people from all walks of life within the MAGA, if you will, make America great again. Were you trying to say something?
No, I'm just looking at your background.
Oh, that's Via Lararo. That is Madam C.J. Walker's home, and her ancestors actually still own it, and those were her representatives.
Yeah, those are her network marketers. That's what I'm talking about.
Some of them.
Yeah. Yes. She's the one who started network marketing, wasn't she?
Yep, absolutely. They credit her unofficially with MLM, if you will, the Avon model. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but her family still owns it.
That's yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Yes, AI was logical thinking. We want land. We want money. We want, if you give us those those things, we can do the rest, right? Rob the Viking, how you doing? You say the white man's dollar spreads far but thin. Yeah, but give me a few of those thin dollars. I'll take some. Roz, how you doing? Says I have more respect for Dolezal than Harris. Wish she was VP. She might support reparations since she has black children. The crazy part is, I studied Rachel Dolezal. I actually did, and she has a documentary. I think it's still on there on Netflix. The Rachel Divide is what it's called. And she broke it on down and things like that. For whatever reason, she feels like she's a black woman. Y'all can do what y'all want with that, but she wasn't just putting braids in her hair and all of that, curling her hair up and stuff. She was actually doing the work. And the only reason why she got caught is because her hating parents, they told on her. Now, she's really white. Now, she had issues with her parents because she was actually raising her, adopted brother who was fully black. But she said that he was being abused by her parents. And so she took him and adopted him, and via jealousy and hate, they dimed on her, and the rest is history. But like I said, yeah, it's problematic that she lied about not being a white woman or not being black, or however you want to say it. But again, we'll vote for Sheila Jackson Lee and Maxine Waters and James Clyburn and all these other people who do absolutely nothing for their own people, but then get mad at a Rachel, And as Farrakhan said, in one of the Savior's Day speeches, he said, "Black women, why y'all mad at Rachel? Why y'all mad at her?" He said, "All she did is went in the back alley and picked up what y'all threw away." He says, "Y'all run around here augmenting yourself, wearing, hair that's not yours, and the nails and the eyes, but y'all mad at Rachel for picking up what y'all threw away?" I thought that was a most profound question, that I've heard. But yeah, so I don't know what Rachel is doing now, but she probably would have been way better than Kamala in the White House. But the problem with her, she's a type of white woman, black woman, white woman, I don't know. that was actually helping Black people. And let's see, your average logical thinker, you say the only color Walter sees is green, right? And Rob, you say, I went to America and I saw a Black police officer. That's when I knew America has a better rights. Yeah, but those Black police officers be showing out for the white cop, mad respect to Ice Cube. He be showing out too. So, and a lot of times they crack the whip harder than the oppressor. Um, Common Man, he says, I'm voting for President Trump again because he gave African Americans tangibles, but a large majority of us got spoiled in just 4 years and thought the Democrats would do better and got fooled. Nah, Joe Biden, shoot, he wasn't, the ink wasn't even hardly dry on his agreement papers to be the president before he says, oh, I know I got in Georgia said y'all was going to get those, what did he say, $2,000 checks or whatever it was. And then he said, oh, well, no, Trump already gave y'all some, so I'm going to give y'all the rest. He said that if y'all get Ralph Warnock and the other cat, I can't think of his name, in the White House, we gonna roll out these checks or whatever. And, he just straight up lied. Okay, let's see. And Michael says, I'll see, he's replying to somebody else. Robbie says, I love Black women. Yes. How could you not? And we appreciate you for that. And CF Martin, you say, modern day slave estimated 50 million worldwide deserve reparations, freedom. 50 million what? You mean Black people worldwide? Okay. I see what you're saying. Moni, how you doing? Says much Detroit love. My brown sugar, gorgeous Demetra Handsome Walter. Hope you guys are having a beautiful evening. And Donovan needs to come to Detroit. He might be on his way, Moni. I don't see him on here. No. But welcome anyway. Jump Shot, how you doing? I'm smiling. I don't know if that's the smile you wanted, but anyway, welcome. And October says IDL lie if I was white too. I don't know what that means. He says Irish reparations. That's what Rob, you're saying. October, you said what I don't know what that means. CF Martin says, I'm a real Viking, okay? Anonymous, Anonymous, how you doing? And Buckhorse, she says, I had fun. Reparations, really? I don't know what y'all saying on here. CF Martin says, that's what I heard. I'm in Illinois. Okay. Money says, Rachel Dolezal is a phony. If you love a culture, you're right. Doesn't mean everybody has to accept you on it. But when you are getting grants that meant for Black women, lying, pretending to be Black. Yeah, I guess that's probably problematic. But again, if we're weighing the works of people, because you don't think y'all local politicians get money and lie about it? They say in Chicago it's supposed to be $52 million allocated to help the homeless, and they said only 15% of that has actually been spent. And they're like, well, where's the rest of it? Did they give it to the migrants? Like, what happened to it? And so, yeah, I guess it's problematic that Rachel got a grant if she indeed did that, pretending to be a Black woman. But she did a lot of things as a chapter president there in Seattle, as the NAACP president, and she did help Black people, so I don't know. I'm not one that's super mad at Rachel. I'm just not, y'all know me by now, and being mad at Rachel, nah. And I hate that her parents did that to her, and if you follow Rachel, I haven't seen her in a while, everything she's tried to do, of course, Black people attacked her and just kind of made life hard for her, even though she kind of did it to herself by lying. Because I think she very well could have, hell, NAACP was started by mostly white people. She could have came out as a white person and said, hey, I want to run for the chapter president. I have all these ideas to help the Black community, plus she does have, biracial children and all that. But for whatever reason, she says she identifies as a Black woman. So I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, I see y'all going back and forth. Lillian, he says, the Irish screwed Black folks out of 40 acres and got our benefits. Biden's clan, along with Asians. That's over. Let's see. Where'd it go? That's overcut the check, America. Yep. Okay, so Opal, you says, I'd lie if I was white like old girl too. Got you. You crazy. And oh, really? How you doing? And Robbie says she shouldn't be hanging around in the wrong areas. Then I don't know who that is. Is that you talking about Rachel? Common man, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. You say Maxine Waters and the Black Congressional Caucus is one of the primary reasons African American families are in the shape we're in today. I grew up, saw it happening, sad but true. Yeah, they legislate for everybody else but Black people. And I'm gonna tell you this: y'all think I'm lying? Go on to the Congressional Black Caucus website, and it says Black people and marginalized, all other marginalized communities. But if you go on the Hispanic, the Asian, and everybody else, they say their people only. They don't say in other marginalized communities. And the CBC has been helping the other marginalized communities and not helping Black people. So you're absolutely right. And Facts Not Feelings, she says the Black women who are mad at Rachel just mad she is getting access to Black men. I mean, that could be it too, but you know, I ain't trying to be funny when I say this, but the last time I checked, Rachel was a single Black mama too. I don't know what happened to the man. She just said she was, raising the kids by herself.
Hey, let me ask you a question. This Rachel chick, I do remember that's a tiny bit. I'm looking at some photos now. Well, whatever, woman, whatever. What was the issue though? What was she helping Black people or not?
So what it was until her parents busted her out, if you will, people thought she was just a light-skinned Black woman, right? She wore the braids and the curled her hair, and I don't know, maybe tanned herself. She was like she was, I guess, a light-skinned Black woman. Then her parents came out, they got on the news and said she's lying, she's not Black, she's white, we are her parents, And so it kind of became like a national, scandal type of thing. So she was the NAACP chapter president. I think it's Seattle is where it was. And she was doing things, but really you say, no, ma'am, she stole roles and took other people's scholarship dollars. Yeah, I'm not saying that any of that is cool. It's not. I think she would have just been better off saying she was a white woman, and doing the things that she did. Because as I said, I know when we hear the NAACP, National Association for Colored People, whatever it's called, National Association, man, I don't know, shit, y'all know what it is. It's actually started by white people. So in essence, it's really her organization. She could have just said, hey, I'm a white woman, I want to get involved, right? So yeah, I don't agree with that stuff. Her taking scholarships and that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that, but Jay Bubba, how you doing? And you say, I noticed Democrat shields go to other groups with economic interests. They come to us with insults, want to shame us to vote Democrat. I see on Twitter these sassy shields are going all out now. Yeah, they're shaming you. As I said, Roland Martin, he main one calling us everything but a child of God because now we want to, exercise some common sense. We want to get off the plantation, and he's, the I don't know, he'd probably be a field, hand. Y'all know I can't say the other word. And
actually, Roland Martin, he would be a house nigga. That's the word. Or that's the word.
I was purposely trying not to use that word.
Man. Hey man, if Bill Maher can say it,
we can't say that on here. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we can't. There's certain. Yeah, I purposely didn't say that word.
Oh, I apologize.
No worries.
Out of my swear jar.
Yeah.
Did you answer my question about the Rachel?
Yeah, I did. You wasn't paying attention.
I mean, but was it? I'm saying, but what's the true crime though? I know she
was not doing anything wrong with Black people.
I saw her photo when she was a kid and how she transformed Michael Jackson style the other way. But what did she do to Black people to hurt us?
Well, she did, from what I understand, got some scholarships that was supposed to be for Black women. Now, technically, she wasn't a Black woman. So I think that's kind of it.
But she got one of 10 million scholarships that was for us. But I'm saying, my question was she helping Black people? She's Spanish, purple, yellow, or green. Was she helping us?
She was.
So then what's the problem then?
Well, nobody, culture vulturing is not necessarily likable, but as I said, we got a lot of people we vote for all the time, and they haven't done half the work that she's done.
And they look like us. That's my point. So if I dress up like Jiminy the Cricket and I go out and help all the crickets in the grass, they're gonna be pissed at me because I'm not really a cricket. That don't really make sense to me.
It's just kind of one of those things. And and I'm gonna say this because as a content creator, I do notice a lot of things. There's some content that's out there and certain things that go out there to keep us angry. But then when you stop and say, well, what am I really mad at? Yeah, it's not cool that she, got the scholarships or whatever. But we need to get to a point to where we can critically think and say, well, what was she actually doing? Was she just in the role? Because there's a lot of NAACP presidents, all over. Even Derek Johnson, I think that's his name. He's the national NAACP president, and he's on board with Brandon Johnson, and helping the migrants and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of NAACP presidents that look like us that aren't doing anything at all. So, and Facts Not Feelings says the black women who are mad at Rachel are just mad she is getting access to black men, and those same black women will have no problem hopping on white men. Now y'all tripping. Now y'all taking it to left field. And Anonymous, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says she attended an HBCU. So yeah, if she did, well, if she did it under the premise of being a black woman, yeah, that's fraudulent. But we know that now, especially, there's a whole lot of people who don't look like us that are attending HBCUs. Oh, really? It says, who thought that she was black in the first place? That's hilarious. I've never heard of Rachel Dolezal until all this broke loose, if you will. So, kind of knowing that she was a white woman. Yeah, we look at it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, she a white woman. But then if you look at it from the standpoint of not knowing she was really a white woman, you'd be like, okay, I thought she was light-skinned, black, because she had the braids, and she, look, I don't, ethnic per se, other than being a white woman. So.
But was she, again, not to keep beating Mr. Ed, but she was really trying to help black people. Like, I just looked at her photo. I didn't know she was white until I saw her little picture, her younger picture. But my question is, and I've seen her with some pretty prominent people, which is, in my opinion, helping black people. I still don't really get what the issue was. But she's helping us. I mean,
again, because she said she was black and she wasn't. So it's
wouldn't that be in our favor? Somebody wants to be us, like Chris Rock said, I'm rich, and some of y'all white people wouldn't trade places with me. She wants to be black. Like, let's say she had a disease, or let's say she was faking the funk, saying, I want to be black, I'm a black woman. What is wrong with that? I mean, I would take that as a compliment if I was a black woman, and assuming she was doing good. Now, if she was robbing the cradle and robbing us, then that would be different. But if she's out there, black power, black rights, reminds me, what was that? I'm gonna get you, sucker. Was that his wife? No, not I'm gonna get. Who was that? Was it Don Cheeto's wife? What movie was that? You know what I'm talking about. We had the white wife with the braids.
Was it I'm gonna get you, sucker?
I feel like it was I'm gonna get you, sucker. Anyways, my point is, I don't have a problem.
I'm thinking you're talking about Boogie Nights.
It might be one of those.
Boogie Nights. No, his wife wasn't white on Boogie Nights. That's a long story. Believe it or not, that's one of my favorite movies. Believe it or not.
Black people, we need to find something else to get pissed about.
Well, I mean, that argument is like almost 10 years old at this point. Just
that's cool. Let's not resurrect her then.
Yeah. G. Williams ago, you said, I think that's when everybody wanted to be identified as something. Rachel identified as black. Yeah, that's where that whole transracial term came in. It's like, I guess, and Robbie says that's their weakness. I see a lot of people in there talking about their Vikings too. So I think you started some in this comment section. CF Martin says, one last thing, I'm not in favor of two national anthems. We need to be united. I know that when the Black national anthem is sung, a lot of people have a problem with it. I'll be honest with you. I only know lift every voice and sing. That's all I know.
Of course, there's some spiritual Negro leftists. We live in America. We got one anthem. It's not necessarily a leftist thing. It was really to give Black people an identity because, if you know anything about the national anthem, it's racist. Oh, I know. I've read.
Right.
I've read it all.
Yeah.
I know the part about Negroes' blood and
all that. Yeah. So I don't think we should be singing on.
Yeah, but if we start doing that, we're gonna have to cut a lot of remember we used to watch Dukes of Hazzard on Friday night?
Yeah, they took that off of the George Floyd. They took that off.
Yeah, I mean, they took it off after they made all their money.
Yeah, Mike Nice. So she did lie. She said, I guess she would have lied and said she was a black woman, or I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, definitely she was fronting as a black woman. So that is definitely correct. Y'all, it's very interesting. You'll learn a lot about her. It's called The Rachel Divide on Netflix. Soda says she was acting like Robert Downey Jr. in the movie Tropical Thunder.
Y'all better leave him alone. That was classic role right there. I don't know no black people mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't mad about it. I mean, I know it was a movie. Anomalous, deviating from the norm or common order, form, or rule. Got you. Okay. Let's see here. Elton, how are you doing? He says, I'm going to get you suckers the movie. Okay, got you. He says, it's where you have Mom, Brady, and Braids. Oh, yeah. Florence Henderson. She called him her Black King, and the white children showed up. Top Secret Productions. How you doing? It says lineage matters in the fight for reparations. It says Black is a color. Black is not a race, culture, ethnicity, or nationality. Okay. Jump shot. You say she better than Kamala Harris? Yeah, I would say so. And like I said, I did watch the Rachel Divide, and I researched her because I actually talked about her with Donovan some years back on a podcast that we did. And it was really good. Your average logical thinker says the problem is that Rachel D took an opportunity away from a Negro that could have benefited. How can she truly help if her core characteristic is a lie?
Let me address that. You said earlier, how many people do we have representing us that look like us that lie? Forget the original lie. Because if we get stuck on the original lie, I think we're going to have to cancel everybody. Because a lot of people started out with maybe the wrong way and, course corrected. Christians believe that Saul converted, became Paul. And as far as I know, Saul committed a whole lot of sins and a whole lot of crimes against Christians. So now he's Paul. I mean, I feel like, according to the Bible, and I haven't read the Bible, but he did a lot of good things. Can we not give somebody a break who maybe started out the wrong way, but ultimately ended up helping us? I'd rather somebody dress up in blackface and help 10 million of our people versus the one scholarship she got for, and the crazy part is her being a white woman, it probably would have been easier for her to get the scholarship. But that's a whole nother thing. I think we should open up and let everybody help us while we're trying to help ourselves. I don't care if they want to be purple. As long as they're helping us.
As far as I know too, Rachel, she ended up, I haven't heard anything about her lately. I know she wrote a book. It didn't do so well. I mean, people just really they demolished her to where she ended up on public assistance, food stamps and stuff. She braids hair and, does a good job and all that other stuff. But people just,
that's ironic. She braiding hair. Well, shit.
Yeah, she does. She does a good job, but she's just trying to figure out any way she could, to make a living. But she was just trash every which way she went, and it's like, all right, I get it. She lied. But imagine if we took all that energy and actually went after the people who do have the, way more power than she does, and do them the way and I say we, I'm just saying as a collective, we did her. We'd see different results, I believe. Bobby, how you doing? It says 15 to 20% of FBA not voting, and if Democrats are done. Not voting and voting for someone else. Because as I said, in 2020, Donald Trump saw about 8% of the black vote. And they said, again, it was held today, it'd be 22 to 26% of the black vote would go to Donald Trump. So that's significant.
Yeah, and I think it was like black men especially are really high on that list.
Oh, yeah. And, and then, of course, there's been a lot of Democrats going after black men, kind of talking to y'all like y'all some imbeciles that can't think for yourself. Oh, they trying to get them away from the Democrats. They lying to them. They got the black man voting for Trump. Were you saying something?
I'm
Okay.
just trying to read these comments.
And Samuel, you say, looking at the thumbnail image, I'm not surprised. He says, that's why I can't stand Kamala Harris, and I will not vote for her old A or old A Biden. I've been a registered independent since 2012. Yeah, I'm nonpartisan as well. At least do that. That way they won't assume your vote, right? I get texts all the time asking me if I'm going to vote for Biden. It's like, no, I don't even respond. And Vince, how you doing? Says, wasn't she there on a minority scholarship? That's what I understand. Yes, it's the Racial Divide. It is on Netflix. It's really good. You'll learn a lot. Not really to sympathize with her, but you'll get more of the why and the what and all of that. Like more instead of what you've been seeing in the media. I think it was a well done documentary. It really was. Lillian says she's good, white folks. Oh, laugh out loud. Vince says Rachel is doing well in selling her art. Yeah, I know she was selling art, and she changed her name. Actually, it's Chinike something. It's an African name, so I don't know if she's going by Rachel anymore, or did she officially go over to the new name? But yeah, I do remember I was selling art, so that's that's pretty cool. Oh, really says that lady never course corrected. We're tired of Black people excusing these behaviors. Why didn't she come in as a co-chair or assistant to another qualified Black person or something? Yeah, I agree with you. I think she wouldn't have been better off to saying, hey, I am a white woman, or just being a white woman, say I have, Black interests in mind, and I want to help, assist. So I agree with you on that. And unfortunately, that was her downfall. Lying. It's like, damn, you was perpetrating a whole Black lady, huh? Lillian says she should have just been herself, not cutting for her. Sorry, no, I'm not cutting for her either. I'm one of those people, and you guys know me by now. I try to understand things. I don't necessarily go with all the talking points of, oh, she's a bad person, he's a bad person. I like to learn things on my own, because one thing we have to believe. We can't out of one side of our mouth say, oh, the media be lying, oh, the media, this, that, and the other, and then go along with the talking points of the media. Like, I'm one of those people. Find out for yourself. Find out if the stuff that you're reading about whoever it is, Kermit the Frog, find out if it's true, right? Don't just be one of those people. I'm not saying this about y'all, but don't be one of those people that just go along with it, and say, well, just that, the other. You draw a narrative off of a narrative somebody else drew that didn't do their research. That's all I'm saying. So it's not cutting for her. I think I learned a lot about her other than what we were told. So that's all I'm saying. The average logical thinker says, absolutely, Walter, it's not our job to judge because we all have made mistakes, but to forgive this publicly would set a horrible precedent in the future. I honestly don't think it's for us to forgive or not to forgive Rachel. I don't think it is. You know what I mean? But if we are not forgiving, and that's not even say her, but somebody like her, how is it that we sit up and forgive, people like your Amber Geigers and, all these other people? Y'all know the one that killed Botham John as he was eating ice cream in his home, the police officer. His family got up and gave her hugs, and we forgive you. We see it all the time. The Dylan Roof, when he killed the 9 people in South Carolina, they all said, we wish that he doesn't get the death penalty. We forgive him. You know what I'm saying? So we forgiving all the wrong people. Now, I know y'all ain't, but, we, in general, we forgive the wrong people. But we going to stick it to some people. It's like, all right, I'm not necessarily going to die on a hill of, not forgiving Rachel or forgiving her. I don't even think that's where it is, because we got other fish to fry, honestly. Rachel, at the end of the day, will be fine. She's a white woman, Michael, say Rachel should be using her privilege and power to advocate cash payment reparations for ADOS. Yeah, she should be, if she hasn't already. Juggernaut says, them folks is scared of reparations coming when you have a senator in Florida proposing a bill to ban reparations. Yeah. Oh, gosh, what is his name? It's a weird name, but yeah, he's tell Terrell to have a seat. Yeah, he's saying that if Florida is giving reparations, then they should be barred from doing that. The state and any other municipality. There was also another senator, Republican, that wanted to take it to the House, and this one's going to the House and the Senate, that if any state gives reparations, then they shall not benefit from federal funding from that point forward. So, they're trying their hardest. Walter Terrell, y'all can jump in whenever y'all want. I'm just reading these comments.
He just listened. He ain't say he.
Okay, all right. Well,
ready,
Whenever y'all ready, I'm just reading. Let's see
Oh,
here.
go ahead. I'm just reading some of these comments.
Okay.
Well.
Buck Horse says, God bless the mighty Hebrew Israelites and the mighty nation of Islam forever. Yes, indeed. And eventually say Rachel's new name is, yeah, there you go. Now you go. Here we go. Nietzsche Amare Diallo. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Yeah, so she's completely changed her name. Y'all do it what y'all want. Poppy said, I'm not voting for anyone. No tangibles, no vote. Yes, indeed. And G. Wisdom Cole says Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface. That movie was funny, though. Yeah, it was funny. You know, I think sometimes, I mean, hell, if you can get mad at Tropical Thunder, then Down Show better get mad at white chicks. You know, it was two of them running around dressed like white women. So, you know, everything. So I don't know. I don't know. And Bakari, how you doing? He said his brother is something else. Bobby says, remember, family 15 to 20% of FBA not voting, and the Democrats are done. Yep. O'Reilly says, no party is the way to go. No promises, but you make them earn your vote. Yep. David Obi Jr., how are you today? And Samuel says, once anything that says minority or people of color, it's no black people, it's others who have anti-black like them folks. Yeah, whenever you hear that, they don't mean us, right? That's why we stop calling ourselves people of color, minorities. We black people, you know, or however I know that's a sensitive subject, however you describe yourself. Anything other than that. Jay Bubba says, wait, how you get on the list for them to ask you if you're voting for Biden? I want to tell them, hell no, I don't know. They send me texts at least twice a day. So I don't know. And Soto, you say, maybe because I'm nonpartisan. And Soto, you say, wow, I guess Shanika was already taken. You stupid. I got no hate or love for the woman. Just funny to me. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know if that's for us to forgive or not forgive, because I don't know. We have other things we need to be concerned with. Poppy says, Shalom. Also, you're talking to Buck Horse. And B Movins first or last. How you doing? He says it's called buying votes. And Common Man says, Demetra, it's to the point. That's why I like her, i.e., she keeps it real. Well, thank you. Samuel, you say we're too forgiving. In real talk, I don't like it. Yeah, we are. We forgiving all kind of people who don't deserve it. As far as concept, we always forgiving people who ain't asking for it in the first place. Dylan Roof ain't never asked not nan black person in there, that the family members or whatever that he killed. Hey, will y'all forgive me? In fact, he's still standing 10 toes down. Is he dead yet? I know that he got the death penalty. I don't know if they've, done it yet, but he's unapologetic about it. But there they all standing all together. Well, it's Christians. We got to forgive. And we wish that he didn't have to, have the death penalty. It's like, are you crazy? This man went in your church, sat in the back of your church while y'all was singing in choir rehearsal, praying and praising the Lord, and gunned y'all down like animals. And you talking about you wish he didn't get the capital 1 punishment, huh? But yet, on one hand, we gonna stick it to Rachel. You know what I mean? But you got cold-blooded killers roaming free or locked up or whatever, going to Burger King after they did it. And we talking about, well, I just, we Christians and we want to forgive. Our priorities are really, they jacked up. Really says all these positions in leadership be taken up by other people, and black people are qualified, educated, and experienced. I can't tell you how much it happens with all these roles. Yeah, you guys know Donovan, he ran for city council twice and they didn't want him on there, but yet they want Donovan to do the work. Even to this day, they knock on his brother's door and tell him, oh, this is going on in the neighborhood. Oh, what about this? What about that? And he'll help him if he can, but it's like, y'all didn't go and show up to vote for me. Y'all didn't want me on the city council where I could have made a difference. But yet, I'm doing more work than the city council's doing, but yet y'all didn't want me on there. So you're right. There's a lot of qualified people who get the job done, but, big money talks. The name, they got a lot of signs out. I've seen their name around. I'm going to vote for them. You don't know nothing about them. And the Common Man says, what's up? Oh, because you're talking to somebody else. Leota, she say, I believe that Rachel Dolezal found her strength and identity in being a black woman. I don't know what demons that she had been fighting within. Yes, she had a lot of problems at home, a lot of abuse and things like that. As I said, she talked about in a documentary, she adopted her brother who was also adopted. He was a black boy, and she said he was being abused in several ways, and so she had to fight her parents to get custody of him. So there's a lot going on there, but I think her parents exposing her was definitely out of hate, because she was estranged from her family. So that's kind of how that happened. But if you watch it, the Racial Divide, you'll learn a lot. And let's see here.
I'm gonna watch that. You calling it the Racial
The
Divide?
Racial Divide is on Netflix. It's really good.
Yeah, cool. So we can move on.
Okay, so let's see here.
We passed kneeling.
Oh really? He says, can't say that you want better. You want better at the same time. Dismiss these actions. Vince says the Nigerians are mad at the name change. He said, Lillian says, them forgive people, never get a check. I don't see the logic. Hugs and forgiveness for murderers. Nah. Bobby says, no bag, no vote. I like that. And Top Secret Production says, Native, Negro, Americans, colored is my birth certificate, not on any so-called people of color. And Lillian says, happy Bagatarius solar return. Okay. And Samuel say, we're Black people, not a minority. We're the original people of the planet, God's children of melanin. Absolutely. Vince says, Nikichi says, is from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria, and it means gift of God, which they say she ain't. Oh, God. Bakari says, Christianity makes us subscribe into Stockholm Syndrome all day by default. Poppy say, y'all remember when they said Goodfellas? What they said in Goodfellas, it says, F you pay me. That's how we all need to be. Yeah, Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies. Mob movies, if you will, are my favorite genre of movie. In fact, Netflix has a special. They have these series called How to Be. They have one, How to Be a Serial Killer. No, I'm sorry, not a serial killer. I don't think they have one yet, but How to Be a Cult Leader and How to Be a Mob Boss. So I'm watching that one now, How to Be a Mob Boss. It's pretty cool. Comment says he sat in front of the church. Yeah, and the Farrakhan talked about that too. He says, y'all in those Christian church, y'all see people like him coming there. He had a backpack and everything. And y'all come on in the church, have a seat. Say you don't search him or nothing. And he said, now y'all know why when people come in, before they even come into the mosque, you getting searched, your bag, you turn around, you stomping your feet. If you got your hat on, you taking that off. Sisters, we patting your hair down. You getting pat down before you come up in here. But he said, y'all trusting. It just illustrates how we as Black people, we are too trusting of them folks. Thought he wasn't going to be a threat, and the rest is history. Like literally, Samuel says, I wouldn't forgive any racist people who harm or disrespect us Black people. So forgive them, folks are disrespectful. I don't forgive racist or xenophobic people. Enlighten, he says, we are too forgiving of white folks. We ain't that forgiving of each other. Now you said a word right there, right? We step on each other's feet and it's a wrap. I'm going to do a whole life sentence over it. And Bobby, yes, my vote is for sale as well. O'Reilly says some Black people be forgiving people and they ain't even sorry and ain't gonna say sorry until you open your mouth. Facts Not Feeling says we as cowards, we have to forgive because we believe in the Lord, quote unquote.
The panel.
Huh?
I said, when you gonna open up the panel?
Oh, y'all want to come on here? Y'all want me to open up the link?
I was waiting on Black America.
He on here. Yeah, Black America, I think he on restriction. He was cutting up a couple of weeks ago. Okay. He said women are property. So he on restriction.
Women are property.
Yeah, he said we all property.
They are property, just like men are property.
Oh, we ain't y'all property.
You my man, you my woman. I hear people say that all the time. The word "my" from my school time, "my" means you belong to me.
Not in the connotation he was putting it. Okay, it was very Facts Not Feelings. You say free Black America. You was here when he was cutting up. Y'all was your average logical thinker said don't conjure him up. y'all was here. He was cutting up. Had me shook. I was like, huh?
What would change all this stuff? If we always talk about this. We start putting, we ought to, because, Black people, we are competitive. What we should do we should do like a savings competition. Let's say we all open a bank account, a brand new butt naked bank account, and just see how much money you can save in it without touching it. I think that would be productive and competitive. Because Black people, we had our money stacked, most of these problems wouldn't go away. Most of these problems would go away. I promise you. If money can fix it, it's not a problem. And most of our stuff is finance related, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, a lot of it is. I agree. And Shiloh, how you doing? Says KKK Christianity favorite Mark single female clueless older and Black. Yeah, there's a lot of sisters up in the church. How about Jesus is my man? I don't need no man. Jesus is my man. Buckhorse says all the red tails are here. In fact, not Black America, he was cutting up. Y'all know I ain't lying. Oh, really says no, sir, ain't nobody property. No. In fact, that feels talking about Black America hold the line. Okay, you got his back. Yeah, I had to hang up on him. He was wild in that day.
That's like some Andrew Tate stuff. Sometimes you say something and get misconstrued.
No, Black America ain't misconstrued. He say Black America just say whatever come to his mind, and that ain't always good. The minister say, or a messenger rather, says think 5 times before you speak, and he don't think a half the time. So he's still on. He be in the comment section. He just ain't here today. Yeah, he had it going on and popping that day. Let's see here. Facts and Feelings says Walter Blacks are trying to save, but we have lots of bills.
That's bull. I was gonna say bull honky, but that's not appropriate. That is.
But you said it anyway, though.
That is not true. Black people, y'all need to cut that shit out. We can save money. We choose not to. That is Black people. We have so much money. I think I read something that says Black people were at the top of the totem pole when it came to income, assets. We are not at the bottom of the income spectrum. We just at the bottom of the, and that we don't have, we do. I guarantee you, anyone that believes that, let me go into your closet in your garage and let's just have that conversation. Period. Because I know I got stuff in my house I could sell right now. If I wasn't in a position where I couldn't save, I would sell. You know, like my ex left her red bottoms in my closet, and I'm like,
What size are they? Oh, she got little feet.
No, I ain't gonna sell her red bottoms, but they're still in my closet.
What size are they?
They still 7. They're too small.
Oh yeah, they're too small for me. How much?
I'm just making a point. We got Louis and red bottom Christian stuff in the closet. Neither one of us wear. If I thought about selling it multiple times just to prove a point. So the first thing you should do when you make money, put a little bit away. It just creates a habit. That's all. Goals, dreams, stack money first, goals and dreams second, your religion, food, blah, 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 blah. There's no such thing as a bill. You create a bill. That's it. Because if you lost your job, you would figure out a way to cut all those other things loose. Remember we let our house burn down? And we started from nothing. I was like, I sat on the couch in my drawers, like, we don't need none of this shit. The couch I ain't gonna miss. And we eventually we got another one, but I was like, all that money we wasted. The big screen TV, it was all material stuff. So you saying you can't save, that's an excuse. If you go in your closet, look in your bank, you see that you spent money on other stuff. It don't make sense to even say that. And it's a disease because then our kids are hearing it. Like my mama used to say this, I can't afford it. And I knew she had money. What she was saying was, it's not a priority for me to buy you an Atari 5200. My father bought it anyways, right? I think he bought my 2600 too, and my Nikes. But we live with my mama, so she took care of most of the bills. So it was easy for him to kick in and buy the games. I get it. So moms, calm down. But you make it a priority to save.
And Bakari, and how you doing, by the way, says, let's talk about the fact that people are preparing for the racial financial collapsing. Are we prepared? And I think that's really the question. At the end of the day, are we prepared? We talk about this all the time. Even money, but food, water, any of the necessities we're smack dab in the middle of what we call the holiday season. And, people are out there, they're shopping and they're buying everything and, gifts. and stuff like that. And I don't do Christmas at all. I don't really partake in holidays at all, especially the ones that ask me to spend money. I just don't. And I feel good that I'm not attached to that. I've not thought about buying a Christmas present at all. Like, I haven't thought about it, and I'm not going to get wrapped into that, because at the end of the day, Joe Biden them stand up there talking about, oh, things are getting better. It's like, now we've been to the grocery store in the last week and we know things are not getting better, right? So I get that we do have bills. Bills are facts of life. We're going to have bills until we die, right? Ain't nothing free. However, it comes down to, prioritizing. What do I need and what do I want? Do we even know the difference anymore? Like, how many of us really, if you really, 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 really think about it, do you know the difference between something you want and something you need? Because you need what?
Yeah, you need to save. Listen, and facts not feeling. I'm gonna get with you. Let's have some fun here real quick. You're not in touch with the struggling black man. I slept on this lady on the left. I slept on her couch in 2009. Remember that? You remember that card? That the black maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Right? That black Tahoe I had said USS Culture on the back. Remember that night it got repossessed? Don't tell me I don't know the struggling black man. And the struggling black man don't have to be in the same sentence, but since we brought it up, and what if I didn't know how to struggle? Is that a sin because I don't struggle? Black people, you don't have to struggle. It's not a prerequisite for being a black man. And so, but since I have went through some struggles, I still go through some struggles, right? But going through those struggles made me go, you know what? I need to save. Instead of spending $300 on some chick that I'm gonna be through with, it's TikTok and baby oil. That saved me $300. You know what I'm saying? I make better decisions.
Yeah, Enlighten says, I say by using Terrell was not happy with that. Me either.
TikTok come through sometimes.
Enlighten says, I say by using cash. When I make purchases with my change and I get back, I have big jars that I fill. Yeah, I have a cash change jar too. It's almost full. I'm like, I wonder how much is in there and what am I actually gonna do with it? But I love doing that too, saving the change. But I'm one of those people. One of my strategies is not really carry a lot of cash, because a lot of times when we have cash in our purse or our pocket, we're like, well, it's not in the bank account. I just spend it, right? But I don't know, for me, it's like if I use my card, it's like I'm gonna think about it more, right? Like, I'm also one of those people that I'll go into the store and I might pick up some stuff, but by the time I get to the cash register, I'm like, nah, no, damn well I don't need this. I'm gonna put it back, And that's why I said, do we know the difference between the things that we're buying? Are they actually a want or a need? Next time you go to the store and you put everything on a conveyor belt or in your basket, look at it before you actually pay for it and say, is this something I really need, or is it something I want? And if I want it, can I afford it? Or, can I live without it? Like, why do I want this? I get it. Sometimes you get, it's nice to buy some things that you want. But if you're buying more things that you want than you need, then that's why you can't save no money.
Right. There's two columns, discretionary and necessary. And I would agree that most of your columns on the discretionary side are huge. Like, case in point, last night, I felt like I should make a filet. Then I was like, I'm gonna go to this restaurant, Fleming's, and I was just gonna sit there by myself and have a filet. And I thought, you know what, that's $100 plus drinks. Plus, if I sit next to some chick, I could end up getting in an escapade. I could be $300-400 for the night. So I took a roast, I put it in my crock pot, and 8 hours. I counted down literally. You know what? I'm gonna count down this 8 hours before I eat this steak. It's still sitting. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with you guys, I'm probably gonna cut it. But that saved me hundreds of dollars. That's $300, 12%, 30 years is $1 million. I mean, what are we doing here? So the fact that we don't have money, it's a choice. If you have a German car, I know I got one. If you have, I don't care what it is, because really you could drive a Toyota Corolla fresh for 2008. You ain't gonna be safe, but you'll get there. You can wear some Levi's and a t-shirt every day and you can still function. Matter of fact, the richer people get, the more they dress like that. And I saw Jay-Z with t-shirt, jeans. I mean, he had a zillion-dollar watch on. But the point I'm making is when you start putting your money first, some of those things don't matter. I was looking at buying an S-Class a couple of weeks ago, training my Range Rover, but I was like, this S-Class is for women. I don't care what dudes think. Uh, my Range Rover is cool. So sometimes you have to just think, is this for me or is this like I saw this really sick BMW all lit up in the front, but I go, he can't see it while he's driving.
Right.
Wait, hook the inside up. I'd rather have the inside hooked up and the outside not be as good. So we really have to think about this. Every dollar you make, you can put a penny away. Even if you save 1% of your income, at least you have enough money to move to Mexico, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, Africa, Senegal, whatever. Even 1% of your income over a 30-year period will make you established in most countries. You will be okay. Like, matter of fact, me and my girl talking about moving to Mexico part-time. We found a house near the beach, $420, a 2-bedroom condo in Mazatlan. $420. Ocean, like, go in the middle street, see the ocean. $420, 2-bedroom condo.
For
$420. And that's expensive in Mazatlan because the average Mexican doesn't make $420. So that's considered a luxury. We saw another one that was $200. Wasn't near the beach, but it was $200 for a 2-bedroom.
You mean 200,000?
$200 a month rent. In Cancun, when me and Daisy went out there, a lady said, I live right here by the beach. I pay $400 for that condo near the beach. And she bartended across the street. So if you don't save, it's on you. If you're saving or building a business, a lot of business owners will struggle because we're always trying to put money into a business. Like, let's do that because all you need is one of those to work. If you try 10 businesses and one works, you're straight. So if you're not running a business, you just 9 to 5 and you ain't saving, that's on you. I call it the Meals on Wheels generation. Give us your address so we can drop food off.
Yeah, and I saw and hello to everybody came on here. Facts Not Feelings. You say the guys on the corner. Let me go back. I'm like, are you for real? You trolling us? He says the guys who are hanging out on the corner we talked about earlier, they don't make enough money to save. Well, hell, what kind of money you making if you hanging out on the corner? You ain't going nowhere to make no money.
I don't even know how they got in the conversation. Hanging on the corner ain't working on the corner. Now, I have more respect for you if you was working the corner. You know what I'm saying? At least you can. I'm not talking about selling drugs. I'm talking about hoeing. That way you can make some money. I have more respect for them. As a matter of fact, did you notice? I know a prostitute. I mean, you don't know her. You haven't met her. But one of my friends is a prostitute and a stripper. She got $500,000 saved. $500,000. She goes, I make $2,000 a night. Most of the time they fall asleep. They don't even remember. She got $500,000 saved. I don't care what you do, long as you save your money, period. So the guys on the corner they ain't us. What we need to do is pull up and snatch them off the corner and give them something to do. Or maybe they can go stand next to the Mexicans at Home Depot and they can start picking up some work. That would make more sense than just hanging on the corner.
Yeah, and it's I was out today and a man, I presume, was homeless. He asked, could we buy him something to eat? And I said, yeah. What is that you want? And brought him something to eat. And I felt bad for him. I know a lot of people be like, oh, he need to be doing. Yeah, he probably should and could all that. But somebody asked me something to eat and I'm able to do it. I do it. And, Walter, I know you're a big proponent of helping, homeless people as well.
I give homeless people money all the time. I mean, I'd be rolling up to him. I chased this one dude. He looked at me crazy. I pulled up my Range Rover, which was a horrible purchase, by the way. I regret it every day. But he looked at me crazy and said, dude, I'm trying to help you. He's like, man, I thought you were the police in an all-black truck. So no. We should focus more on that. And while we talking, somebody made a comment of divine and chosen Meek about my Range Rover. I don't know what you meant shaking your head. The funny part is I've always wanted a Range Rover. As a matter of fact, it's on my dream board right in the middle. And the minute I bought that car, like 2 weeks later, I wanted to give it back. So I thought, you know what? It was just something that was in my system. I bought it half price. I bought it for 30. The bank loaned me 60. I used that 30 to buy a couple more cars and keep my business afloat. So that I use it as a business move, because the more expensive your car, the more money Navy Federal will loan you. So that's the other reason I bought the Range, because they would give me, and Range Rovers depreciate so fast. I bought it right before it depreciated. So
yeah, and Mika, you said I saved, and I'm so happy I did. I lost my job and have money for my bills. Yeah, that
start a business. Start a business. Go online. You know, I started my candle company with a few $100. This clothing line, Verbal Herb, I started with my Joe Biden. Well, it wasn't Joe Biden, but my stimulus money. I started this. You know, so you being laid off, losing your job is a blessing, because you can. Isn't it cool to just wake up and do what you feel like doing?
You know, I work for myself, and I would tell you, you know, like most people who work for yourself, it's a blessing, because yeah, you kind of get to, you know, juggle your schedule around. You do whatever you want. You can work and travel and all that other stuff. But the other part of that too is sometimes waking up in the middle of the night, you're jolted awake like, damn, I'm not doing enough. What if, you know, or whatever. So, you know, and also you got to motivate yourself, and, you know, you don't have nobody cracking the whip. It's time to get up. It's time to work. You got to do that for yourself. And so I do enjoy, you know, working for myself and working from home and all that other stuff. But yeah, sometimes I think about that, man. What if I just, you know, punch the clock? Then I probably wouldn't have those worries. But then, you know, the worry that I would have somebody standing over me, telling me what to do, micromanaging me. No, you can't go to the bathroom. No, Gloda's going on vacation that week. You can't go, you know, and all that other stuff. And so when I think about men standing on corners, I think about that all the time. What else could they be doing? It don't have to be nothing monumental like going to start, you know, Apple or IBM or nothing. Just what needs to be done around the neighborhood. You know, we stand. Remember that commercial when y'all know the commercial when y'all sitting up watching Jerry Springer and Maury all day. Well, one of those colleges talking about you're on the phone. What do you say? You're talking on the phone all day anyway. So it's like you're standing on the corner all day anyway. You might as well be doing something along with Kiki and Ha and talk about Jimbo and Junebug and all them. Talk about, okay, for 20 minutes, we're going to talk about how to move this business idea we got forward. All right, did you bring $10 to put in the pot today? No, we ain't going to buy nothing to drink and talk. We're going to put the money that we was going to drink with, we're going to put it in the pot, and then we're going to move toward that idea. You got a truck, don't you? Ray, yeah, I got a truck. All right. Pookie, don't you got a lawnmower? Yeah, I got a lawnmower. All right, let's put that together. Let's go knock on some doors, because there's a lot of people who probably could pay for a $10, you know, getting their grass cut for $10 or whatever. And we build upon that, right? So where there's a will, there's a way. But we can't keep saying, because I get it. And listen, facts, not feelings. I've been in the same situation, you know, where you're talking about people can't save, but you can save if you prioritize. As somebody said, Black people, we walk around, we the sharpest thing in any setting. I don't care where it is, a funeral, the church, the grocery store. And no, we ain't talking about Walmart. We the sharpest person in there, but yet we come, like I said, and I told y'all this a couple of weeks ago. If you don't believe me, go sit in the middle of the mall, right? Take your cup of water, okay, your own cup of water, sit there in the middle and just watch. And see how many of us is walking through there with bags and bags and bags. But we talking about we can't save.
So, and you guys, this conversation, we need to really, facts not feelings. I don't know if you're just doing this for commentary or to give us something to talk about, but we really need to move past this narrative that you don't have money to save. You can't, that's funny. You cannot use that narrative anymore. If you have a job, you can save. Think about this. I have a high ticket item, then turn it into a low ticket item. My car payment is too high. Let it go. Did tell you I'm the master of cutting car payments? I've got so many people out of their car payments. There's a way to do it. Like I'll give you case in point. I'm not gonna name this person, but she's paying $800 on a car that's 1 year old. So I put it up for sale. Took her to the bank that I always tell you guys to go to, Navy Federal. They gave her $60,000. We buying her a car for like 25 and using that other 35 grand to buy like 6 or 7 cars to put on Turo and the flip. So one car loan, 6 or 7 cars. Put 3 on Turo, let those 3 pay the whole 800, and you got the other car. She has her own car for free, no car payment. She has 3 other cars she can buy at a discount. Took it to the auto auction. She lost her mind. She can buy those. She can flip them. She's like, me and my boss, our relationship is about to end. I was like, it should end. You're a grown-ass woman. You waking up and punching the clock? I get you got to do what you got to do, but sooner or later, you can't complain about working, but keep working. Now, if you got a 9 to 5, cool, do that, but don't complain about it and still do it. So you got, there's ways, if we could just be creative and keep going off of each other, we can learn a lot of stuff. I tell you, the house I'm in right now, you might see an Asian man walk down those steps any minute. Actually, he's at work, but like you'll see people walking down those stairs all the time. I got my master bedroom on Airbnb and my other bedroom. I'm only paying $2,600 to live here. Those 2 rooms pay me $4,000 a month. And I still got an extra bedroom and the whole place to use for an office, garage, everything. So I'm making money living here. And everybody could do that. People say, I don't want no strangers in my house. I like strangers. I like Lincoln, Washington. What's the other names? Hamilton. Jackson.
Washington. Lincoln. I even take some Lincolns.
Yeah. Preferably old white men. They're presidents. I love them. So, and the funny part is if you got an extra room and you're not on Airbnb, that's your fault. Because really, like I just had a dude check in here. He's staying for the week. He paid, Airbnb sent me $400. All I had to do was clean the room before he got here and clean it when he leave for the next person. So he's checking out on the 11th. I got a dude checking in on the 15th for another week. That's $800 in 2 weeks. That room stays booked 20 days out of the month. And then I got my other room. You guys could all do that. Some of y'all got land. You can go to Home Depot and buy one of these tiny homes for 10, 15, 20 grand, and you can rent it out. Especially in California, you can get $2 grand for a back house all day. So if you got a house you can't afford, or you want to buy a house you can't afford, or rent a house you can't afford, but it's got a backyard, let the person in the back pay your mortgage or pay for a lot of it. So you got somebody living in the back in a couple bedrooms, you living in the house for free. There's ways to go about it.
And Rock, you say I have family who's making $200,000 and is broke. I make half that. It's not what you make necessarily; is what you keep.
There's a good book, The Psychology of Money. I sent it to you. I talked about it here. Psychology of Money is one of the best books I've read, and he talks about cash reserves and having the ability when shit goes wrong. Cash reserves allow you to wait it out. It's huge. Oh, Benjamin, yes, he's my favorite. Right. So no, okay. I'm whispering like a massa gonna hear me.
Cash reserves is the pillar.
That's a stool. So Navy Federal, you don't have to be in the military. You have to be related to somebody in the military or have some relation to somebody in the military. I'm not in the military, but my boy's in the military. He hooked me up. And Lord knows I've given my code out to a zillion people that are related to me somehow, somewhere. They have relatives. Yeah, Navy Federal is pretty loose with that. So they're the best bank. I'm telling you, if you can get it with Navy Federal, get it. And they're in Texas. They have a lot of branches there in Texas.
Yeah, they do.
You went to Navy Federal.
Yeah, I got Navy
Matter of
Federal.
fact, that's where I picked up the check from my car. Was Navy Federal.
Yeah, and you gave me the code, so that's how I ended up with an account.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Navy Federal is a business. You better go before they shut it down.
Right. Let's see here.
Navy Federal, man, they'll give you a car loan. They don't care about you. I gave Navy Federal to my S5, my Audi. I gave them so this is a true story. It was sitting at the auto auction. I took a picture of the VIN number. Called Navy Federal. They loaned me money against my Audi while it was sitting in the auction. I hadn't even bought it yet. I used their check to buy that car and keep the difference. I got the pink slip in my closet. They still don't have the title. I could sell that Audi right now on the street with the pink slip. But they're just like, you can do that, but your rate's gonna change. But so maybe I go from 6 to 12, but can I make 12% on that money all day? I don't have an LLC, not at the moment. No. Mm-mm. That's not true. I do. I have LLCs for the other stuff, like for Verba Herb. I have an LLC for Lit. I don't have one yet. I'm going to. I don't have an LLC for the car business because I'm working under my buddy. Start your business first, get it off the ground, Andrew Tate style. Then get an LLC once it's cracking. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Brother Samuel says, listening with a former captain of the nation. He says, I can listen to this dude all day.
I appreciate it.
Yes, and tell him we said hello.
Yeah, no doubt, Brother X. I appreciate it. Brother Samuel X. Clark. You know, my father was a, what was, Daddy was what? Was he a 1X?
Nah, he probably several X's, I think.
No, not in LA. Tibble number 27. I felt like he was the only one.
Maybe there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm talking about at that one.
Yeah.
I was
originally, I want to say, I don't know, maybe like 6X originally, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fire though. I should have took that. I should have took that X. That's hot. But we better.
You got to do all the other stuff to get to get it though.
I know. I got a long way to go before they give me an X. They might give me an exit.
Right. And JJ, how you doing? It says it's time for our people to be on one accord or fall through the cracks. 2 Corinthians 7:14. Yes, indeed. And welcome, by the way. We're about to get out of here, actually, because as I said, the debate is on. I kind of want to check that out. I've missed all of them.
Debate?
The Republican debate is really probably more like a circus. Trump doesn't show up to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on News Nation, I think. So
Trump ain't on it. I ain't trying to hear it.
Right. Trump, yeah, he's like, why? I'm the front runner by long shot. Why I need to show up? Let these clowns have it. Precious says, let's give up those long fake nails. Men love to hate. Imagine if we put all the nail money together. Yeah, nails don't cost what they used to cost, like $19.99 for a full set. I'm hearing some women are paying like $200 plus every 2 weeks to get nails done. It's like, huh? First of all, I'll probably get myself in trouble. Those nails are unsanitary. And if you have those on your fingers, I probably wouldn't eat anything you're making. That's just me, though, but yeah, that you could save a lot of money doing that. So you say everything ain't for everybody. Just use your gift that God gave you. And if it don't work out, you got a legitimate complaint. If you done everything that you were supposed to do, absolutely. My mom used to always say nothing beats a fail but a try. But some people won't even try. I can't do it. It's like, did you try? Nah, because I don't want to fail. Well, then how would you know, either way, if you not doing anything is the ultimate fail, right? At least, like you said, try it and fail and say, well, I tried, but to sit down, that's the ultimate fail because you didn't even make a move to try to be successful. So absolutely. And Mika, you say, I don't know anyone in the military, but I've been looking at them for a while. Yeah. So if you know somebody, or even somebody who has an account, say, hey, do you have a code I can use? They'll give you a code. It doesn't link you to them at all. They could just give you the code and get you in. Facts Not Feelings, it says, what's keeping blacks down is the fact that we are underpaid and over taxed. We are charged more for everything. I guess if you talk about mortgages and stuff like that, yeah, in some cases, but what are we being charged for? Are we being charged for things that we need or things that we want? It's really come down to that. My mom gave me a book years ago, The Millionaire Next Door. And it talked about how you don't know. A lot of times you're probably in company of a lot of millionaires and you never know it because they're not flashy. They're not wearing the Gucci and the Uchi and the Louis, and they ain't wearing all that stuff. You wouldn't recognize them. They got a J.C. Penney watch. They're not rolling around with a Rolex. They're driving a Honda Accord. They're not rolling around in, a big body Mercedes or anything like that. They got their money in their bank. It ain't on their body. So again, yeah, what are we paying for? But like I said, Facts Not Feelings, I get it. I know that we are working against the wind, if you will. But as I said, this weekend, if you ain't got nothing to do on your next day off, you have 30 minutes, go sit in the mall. Just go sit. You ain't got to spend the money. Just go sit. And you're going to see who is, largely a consumer. And those will be the same people you sitting up here talking about ain't got no money. The same people, they find money for the wants. You know, as my dad always says, people buy what they want, they beg for what they need. You be begging for what you need while you got all, all the bells and whistles on, your hair done, your nails done, got all the latest clothes. Talking about, can you loan me some money? That's an oxymoron. Can you loan somebody some money with, probably $500 worth of stuff on their body? You can go to the pawn shop, consignment shop, or whatever. Why do you get to keep your fancy stuff and I got to come out of my pocket because you were irresponsible with your money? You know what I'm saying? So I know that's not true for all of us. Yes, there's truly some people who do not have the money, but generally speaking, all the money is there. It just ain't there for priorities. It's there for, y'all can put what you want to put to it. And Amika says, thanks for thanks, brother, and Demetra, for the advice. It's our pleasure. I should also say it's Wealth Wednesday. It's supposed to be. Walter was missing in action for a minute.
Well, no, I was working in action for a minute. I was moving to Irvine. I mean, it's a long story, part-time. So I was a couple of weeks, man. Moving is crazy. Actually, I didn't move. For you fellas, I can tell you how to do this. Actually, it's not a strategy. It's just something that happened that I realized. So I have this spot. I'm dating this girl, and I'm not going to ever move in with the chick again unless we are married. So, you know how women are. Oh, we should move in together. We would be great. No, I'm not. You're not stressing me out. So I was like, I'm going to keep this spot, and I'm going to make it make money. And then we can stay at that spot. So she got her spot. I got mine. So, and we just put her in a nicer area. So it allows you to each have your own spot. You just take one of them and you make money with it. So if you want to rent a house, or let's say you're about to leave your house, what you can do is say, you know what, I'm going to leave this house, turn it into a money pit, and then we can go stay in this other house. So that's just one thing that you could do too. Does that make sense?
That was your daddy asking, are you watching the debate? I'm like, I'm getting ready to.
I'll tell me he about to switch over too.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he's
about
probably
to.
he's more conservative anyways.
Oh yeah, for sure. It comments says, how much is the bottom of nail polish? Women do nails for women because, to be honest, men don't care. Yeah, that's true. All that. Yeah. It depends. I like to buy a good bottle of nail polish because it lasts longer. I spend about $10 on nail polish. I've tried the cheaper kind; it just don't work. So the better kind lasts a little bit longer. Anyway, Andre, how you doing? And Lillian says a lot of naturals in Louisiana. Natural is the way to go. Brother Samuel says former captain says I'll be listening next Wednesday as long as they talking about money. Well, Wealth Wednesdays, that's what we're supposed to be talking about, money. So that's what we are most definitely talking about. How to make it, how to keep it, and everything in between. And so tell them we say thank you for tuning in. Your average logical thinker says, like I said, it's all sacrifice for 1 year. Hell, 1 month, and pull it together as a community. We can do a lot. Yep, we just got to do it. No excuses, right? A common man says, spend their money and yours too. I know what you meant. And Precious, she says, how about all the dough we spend on lottery? Okay, can we come up with our own game shows and win money locally? They call them susus, and they didn't work out too much.
Yeah, because it's somebody at the top suing your money. I mean, listen, man, if you're gonna get into a network marketing thing, get into something with the product. That's it. The susus
Right.
and the voodoo, that's madness. Start like Lick LYT, our Lick Candle Company. We have a network marketing that we created. People say, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. No, your job is a pyramid because you have one Egyptian at the top working and two Egyptians under her and four Egyptians under them, and you down there somewhere at the bottom of the pyramid. Where if you true network marketing, like Madam C.J. Walker, the sister behind my sister, gives everybody an opportunity to make as much money as they want. And true network marketing, you can recruit somebody, and that person can make more than you. It happened all the time. Matter of fact, my last network marketing company, I made more money than the girl that brought me in. That's a true network. Now she made money off my money, but that's cool. I'm happy with that because she gave me opportunity. People say, I don't want people to make money. Oh, they make money off you all the time. You really think Donald Douglas Or if you work at Amazon, they're paying you 40,000 a year. You don't think they're making 800 on your effort? If you got a piece of every box you put in the truck, man, you be rolling. So we need to start looking at things like that and get rid of some of these spoofs and I don't want this and I don't want that. Like, start you something as long as it's legal and ethical, and even I would even question ethical because there's a lot of business out there. Like banking is not ethical. Google fractional lending and tell me how ethical you think that is, but it's how banks function. Period. So, anyways, that's
Absolutely.
my
So we're gonna
piece.
get out of here for my daddy be like, "Are y'all watching the debate again?" So anyway, we love and appreciate you guys dearly. Thank y'all so much for being here. Everything that you guys do to make the show what it is. We could not do this without you. Maybe next week we'll remember to share the link. We'll be back on Sunday with Donovan, and what we'll talk about, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. Nevertheless, Walter will be back here on Wealth Wednesdays, where we like to talk about the money and how to, everything about it. So because that's really where we're going to start helping ourselves is figuring out how to make money and how to keep it, right? And in some cases, invest it. Although neither one of us we're experts. Well, he's more expert than me, but licensed, I should say. Yes, Walter is dropping jewels, and it's a pleasure to have him on here. Walter is a busy guy; he's always doing something. He's a wealth of knowledge, and so we are very fortunate to have him on here to impart his wisdom. And Brother Samuel said your dad watches the debate as well. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So anyway, you guys want to help the channel, there's ways to do so. At the bottom again, to go to the africandiasporanews.org and invest in that app, because that is a platform that is owned and operated by Black people. Right. So in the meantime, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later. Peace.